Good morning from Amman, Jordan. We're going to the Dead Sea today. We had a ride all secured to the Dead Sea, but our new friend Victor, who we met in Wadi Rum, we hung out with him last night and we secured a ride to the Dead Sea through his hostel. The owner of the hostel is gonna drive us and we're gonna have a couple of stops along the way. Those stops include Mount Nebo and Madaba. Those are gonna be quick stops, but the main attraction is definitely the Dead Sea. One thing to note about the Dead Sea, securing a ride is not the hardest part or the most expensive. You have to pay to use one of the beaches, be it the public beach or one of the resorts. The public beach, I think, is about 15 or 12 JD, and then the resorts can go from 20 all the way up to 5-star, hundreds of JD a day. But with that, you get everything. Food, a pool, a chair, everything. We're naturally gonna go the cheaper route, not go to the public beach, but go to one of the cheaper resorts.
This is our new best friend, Victor. The hostel Victor is staying at is called Cliff Hostel. It's 8 JD per bed. I think we're gonna start looking at hostels from here on out. Victor gave us some really good tips, and I think it's worth a shot. Our driver's name today is George. We walked right down the stairs from the hostel and immediately are getting breakfast.
I think I'm more into the sweets now.
I want one of those.
That's got so much seasoning on it.
It smells amazing in here. I cannot explain it. Amber got a piece of bread, which looks like a lot of seasoning, and then I got what looks like an egg pizza.
The 2 little breakfast pizza things that we got and the 1 donut cost me 1 JD. George just let us know that some points on the road we cannot take any pictures or videos at certain checkpoints. I may have already done that actually, but good to know. He said he'll let us know when that happens. It's not very sweet. Where are we heading first?
Madaba.
Madaba?
We're at St. George Church. This whole entire city of Madaba is known for their mosaics, the little pieces of rock put together to make an entire picture. We're gonna see a very old mosaic from the 6th century of a map of all of the Holy Land, of all of the Middle East. This is the oldest map of Palestine in existence in the entire world. Many times in history, people don't realize how important some of the things that they have and how old it is. So they cover it up, make something new, and then we uncover it and find it. And it's so well preserved because they covered it up. The entrance fee into St. George Church is 1 JD per person. Well worth it.
Up next, Mount Nebo.
Mount Nebo is where Moses saw the promised land of Jerusalem. Moses also never made it to Jerusalem, so this is also considered the place of his death.
Thank you. This place is much busier than I expected. We were told by several Jordanians that it would cost us 2 JD to enter. It actually costs 3 because we are not Jordanian. Tourists get charged just a little bit more.
In the 1930s, Franciscans wanted to come upon this hill and build a church. As they started excavating to build, they found mosaics from the Byzantine Empire, 6th century, same time period as the mosaic in St. George Church. The more they excavated, the more they learned and realized the significance of this hill. And they did build a church, but they also incorporated the old ruins into that church, and it's kind of like a museum and a church at the same time. This whole area has been occupied for thousands and thousands of years. These mosaics are from anywhere from the 4th to 7th century. There's 2 different layers. There was an earthquake, so they rebuilt and covered them up. The mosaics around the wall, I believe, were on top of the ones that are still on the floor. So them covering it up was just creating something new and preserved the ones underneath perfectly.
This is the open tomb memorial of Moses.
Now that we're here, St. George Church was like a warm-up. This is so much bigger and cooler to see. If you had to make one stop on the way to Dead Sea, Mount Nebo is where it's at.
Last but not least, time to head to the Dead Sea. How long is the drive to the Dead Sea? Half hour. Okay.
This egg pizza is really good. All the baked goods were good.
I don't feel any more sanitized.
I think we just walked through like a metal detector that was not on. I don't know. That was. I don't understand. What is the sanitizing?
You feel clean.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So our driver has taken us to O Beach. I believe this is one of the cheapest, if not the cheapest resorts on the Dead Sea. I think we are paying 20 JD for the resort and lunch. There's a pool, there's changing rooms, and most importantly, there's showers. You need to shower. There's so much salt in the Dead Sea that things can get destroyed. They tell you not to bring any jewelry, don't put your GoPro in the water.
It's called the Dead Sea because nothing can survive in it. That's how salty it is. There's nobody here. That may or may not be a good thing, but I kind of like it. How do we get that? Oh, I see. It's hot.
That's hot, right?
My skin's gonna be on fire. Getting down to the beach is almost tricky. This place is kind of like a maze.
Other than how salty this sea is, the other reason the Dead Sea is so famous is because it is the lowest elevation on Earth at over 1,400 feet below sea level.
It probably goes without saying, but they do mention that if you have any open cuts or wounds, it's going to burn very bad. I think we got the last 3 free chairs. I did cut the bottom of my foot in Wadi Rum. Thankfully it's had 2 days to heal. I don't feel any burning. I was really worried about that.
Real slow. Wow. You'll just go. It's not even a thing.
I'm doing absolutely crazy.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I can't believe this.
This is one of the coolest feelings. This is so clear. You can see straight down. There's nothing in here.
Yeah.
There's no plants, there's nothing. Explaining something and experiencing are 2 different things. The water feels soft, like it's got softener in it. Like it's got soap. I don't know how else to explain it, but it feels soft.
We did debate on whether or not we should come here and spend the money. I don't know why we ever considered not doing it. You definitely make a big mistake if you come to Jordan and don't visit the Dead Sea. Not surprisingly, the mud here is actually not free. You have to pay 3 JD for it per person.
I never
Talk
thought
about a spa day.
I would pay this much money or mud that literally came out of the ground right here. But you know,
When in Rome.
when in Jordan.
When in Jordan.
Woo! This does burn, definitely. Don't scrub your face very hard.
No.
My face is on fire. Feels like 1,000 little tiny needles.
Both of us definitely hit the same rock, and I cut my finger and my heel.
I'd say we were in the water for maybe 30 minutes, but all of us are just on fire, so we're gonna go rinse off and spend the rest of our time by the pool.
Oh yeah, slicing the good.
Oh my gosh, you're bleeding.
I've been bleeding. That's why I didn't want to go in.
Now look any younger.
Yes, you do actually. Yep.
It's worth it.
We each paid an extra 5 JD to eat, so we gotta make sure we check out the restaurant.
I've never seen corn on the cob served like this. This food is much more impressive than what I expected. When you go to the cheapest resort, you kind of expect some cheap food. I also wasn't sure if they were going to cater to like American Western style food, but no, this looks fantastic actually. I'm really excited to eat all of it. I don't know what any of it is, but I tried a little bit of everything, so we'll see how it goes. We came, we saw the Dead Sea, we got all mud on us, we swam in the pool, we ate, and now it's time to go. This place wasn't that bad. The things that were bad were kind of comical. It's just falling apart, honestly, but nothing that took away from the actual experience here. So I would still actually recommend it. It's probably the cheapest place around, so go for it. We're back from the Dead Sea after about an hour drive. We're gonna meet up with Victor for dinner tonight, and then tomorrow we are going to Jerash, which is some of the oldest and well-preserved Roman ruins in the entire world. I just got back from dinner with Victor by myself. Amber has been sick since we left the Dead Sea. She threw up in the car on the way home. We think it was food poisoning, but the only thing that we had different all day long was bottled water. It seems weird to get food poisoning from bottled water, but it is possible, I guess. She is feeling better though. I brought her a little bit of food, so hopefully she can join us to Jerash tomorrow. Otherwise, all the filming is going to be on me, and that might be a little shaky. Either way, we'll see you in Jerash tomorrow.
Wait, what did you just... You said the same thing?
Giaconicon.
That,
forget the I with I. That's only in English. You say that.
Okay.
Giaconicon.
All right.
Giaconicon.